Ryan has 1,500 yards of yarn, at least 2 scarves, that's greater than or equal to 2, at least 3 hats, that's greater than or equal to 3. So I don't like C, it has the wrong numbers there. When it comes to scarves, 300 yards, and hats, 120. So I should see those next to S and H, and then it's going to be less than or equal to 1,500 because that's the amount of material I have. That's why D is the best choice. So if I look at the points on this graph, I can identify the slopes. This one is going up at a rate of 80 for every hour, and this one's going up at a rate of 40 for every hour. So if I'm looking for bigger than 40 and less than 80, I actually see it twice. I can rule out A and C. And notice the difference here. T is bigger based on distance, or distance is bigger based on time. Well, time is always going to be your X variable. That's why D is the right choice here. So we can set up Y in the middle and 1/2 X plus 4 on the right, and negative 2x plus 4 on the left. If we plug in a 0, that doesn't work. If I plot my blue inequality and my red inequality on the same coordinate plane, my solution set is the overlap, or where we fall below both lines, so everything over here. So based on that alone, I would guess D is the answer. And then I can actually plug in my coordinates to test those cases. And negative 3 times negative 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. This works. This is going to be 1/2 plus 1, so that one works as well. D checks out. If we plot both of these based on the slopes alone, we are below the red line and above the blue line. So the overlap is anywhere in this quadrant here. Of course, the problem is if our B value is too big, it's going to bring points above this red line. So if B is bigger than A, we have some problems where it won't work. So as long as we raise our red line more than our blue line, which is answer choice A, this will still always be true. We're told the equation of this line is AX plus B. This line has a positive slope, so A is not less than 0, like these two suggest. And our B value, which is where we cross the y-axis, is maybe here at like negative 8. So this one doesn't work either. A is the best choice. So if I consider this like a y equals mx plus b line, I cross the y-axis at 1, so my b value is 1. And if I consider my rise over run, I go up 2 over 1. So m is 2. So y is equal to 2x plus 1, and we're not equal to, we're above this. However, there's an additional line here where it cuts off the top, and that is when y is equal to 7. So we're everything below that. So I'm going to change that to a less than. And if I combine these two, I get B. So sillimanite can form in this region over here, and it looks like my temperature is going to be somewhere between 500 and 800. And the pressure varies depending on the temperature. So my upper bound is here, it's going to be less than or equal to this, and my lower bound is going to be greater than or equal to this. I notice this has a positive slope and this has a negative slope. And look at these, they have the same inequalities. Those are both going to be wrong because we're trying to find a region between the two lines. And these both have identical equations for the second one. It's the first one that's different. Both the slope and the intercept are different. If I take these two coordinates, I could find the slope. The change in y over the change in x. I get 0.002. So it's looking like B is going to be the right answer based on the slopes. A system of inequalities in a graph are shown above. So y has to be less than or equal to negative x. That's this line here. So we're below that. That rules out these two. And if I divide by 2 on both sides, we'll divide everything by 2, y is greater than 3/2 x plus 1. So that is going to be this line here. And we are above that, so that rules out section S. The only one that fits all criteria here is section R. So if we plot these lines, 2x plus 1, quick sketch, we're above that, so that's this range. Start here at -1, increasing, we're above that, so that's this range as well. This is the quadrant because none of those fit the blue inequality. If we go back here, no answer will work that's in quadrant 4 for this equation. So that's why C is the only answer. For how many laps is the average greater than or equal to 150? So works here, here, and here. Add those together. 144. This one doesn't work because it's definitely less than 150, greater than or equal to. Since these are less than or equal to, I can solve for x by setting them equal to each other. If I add 15x to both sides, I find that 3,000 is equal to 20x, and if I divide that out, I get that x is equal to 150. I can plug that back in, so y is less than or equal to 5 times 150, or y is less than or equal to 750. If we're looking for the maximum possible value, that is going to be 750.